Hey, if you love shellfish, you're going to love this next segment. Thanks to modern aquaculture, you can now enjoy Arizona-grown shellfish.
This morning, Lisa Carriel takes us to a shrimp farm. Most people think of Gila Bend as the perfect pit stop between Phoenix and San Diego, but maybe not anymore. Did you know there are shrimp in these parts? That's right, shrimp. It's true, hundreds of miles away from any ocean, in the heart of the desert is 25 acres underwater called the Wood Brothers Shrimp Farm.
A lot of people told us we were crazy for several years to try this, but I think that we've proved beyond all doubt that this year that Arizona is apt to become a major shrimp producing area.
And just wait until you try Gary's shrimp.
These are called Penaeus vanami. Is a premium white shrimp. You can see that they're almost transparent.
They
you can
are.
see through them.
Just amazing. And I don't know why they call him shrimp. This guy's pretty big.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Okay, we're going to have to fire these up on the Barbie, and we'll tell you how good they really are. But first, here's what life is like on the shrimp farm. In March, these teeny tiny post-larva or baby shrimp flown in from Hawaii and Texas live here in these environmentally controlled tanks until they mature. The shrimp are then released into one of these 15 ponds where they'll live for about 7 months or ready for harvest. What's different about pond-grown shrimp here in Gila Bend is the quality of the water. It's not polluted. They don't use chemicals, preservatives, or antibiotics, which means healthier and faster-growing shrimp.
I'll tell you what, I've had people from all over the world come out here, and I had a lot of them tell me that this is the best shrimp they've ever eaten. For some reason, and I have to say, we're not responsible for this. The shrimp that we're growing here have a great, sweet, light taste.
Gary says it's the desert sun, their mineral-rich well water, and the natural ingredients like algae that make his shrimp so tasty. Now, the process may sound easy, but it takes a lot of looking after. These waters are tested 7 times a day to make sure the algae levels are just right for the millions and millions of shrimp living here. Water is always being filtered in and out, and paddle wheels work double time to keep the water moving and full of oxygen. And there's no wasted water here. The extra runoff goes to richly feed acres of wheat and olive trees. From this shrimp pond to the Barbie, it is time now for the taste test, Gary. Here we go.
Now, is that the best shrimp you've ever had?
I cannot tell a lie. This is the best shrimp I've ever had. It's fresh, and what's better yet, it's Arizona grown.
It is.
Lisa Carriel for 12 News. Wow.
Hi, I'm Scott Harrelson. You know, Arizona has proven itself to be a great place to farm. In fact, a lot of what's in this store was grown right here in our state. Hi, Skip. Can I have 2 pounds of the desert sweet shrimp, please? Thank you. Believe it or not, these tasty crustaceans came from out west of Phoenix, and I don't mean San Diego. It's another spectacular sunrise over the ponds on the Woods Brothers farm between Gila Bend and Buckeye. But what makes this beautiful scene unique is the crop you can't see because it's underneath the water's mirrored surface.
We are harvesting what some people would call jumbo shrimp right now. They're a very good size.
Gary Wood of Wood Brothers Farms says harvesting shrimp in the desert could be the next big cash crop in Arizona. The shrimp they're producing is sweeter than others. That's why they call it desert sweet shrimp.
What we've done is we've proved that it works here, isolated, away from the ocean. We're producing 6 times, 8 times more shrimp than they do in a lot of places in the world. We start in March with baby shrimp that we get from Texas.
Then they're put into these specially built tanks.
We teach them how to live in the type of water that we have here, and that takes about a month. After we do that, then we stock the ponds, and the shrimp grow in the ponds. They almost double every day, and after that they grow about 15–20% of their body weight each week until the end.
Harvesting the shrimp happens in the early morning hours from August through October. Workers drain the ponds and the shrimp are sucked into big baskets. Then they're immediately packed in ice and put into these huge blue tubs. From there, they're taken into Phoenix, where they're cleaned and packed before they're taken to the supermarket.
Well, the thing about Arizona is it's the temperatures and it's the sunlight. You notice that we have a super abundance of sun here. And with the sunlight, it makes the algae grow. And that's the main diet that the shrimp eat, is the algae.
Gary says the shrimp crop is better here because they're isolated. He says in other parts of the world, shrimp is more prone to disease from high pollution and chemicals. Wood Brothers farm employees are proud of their harvest, especially because a lot of people thought they were nuts when they first started.
Right, we can see right here that we're not crazy.
Sure, a lot of people said we were crazy, but after we actually did it, then any doubt was gone.
I think that we proved beyond doubt that we can do it.
Only on Fox, in their recent debate, neither John McCain nor Barack Obama mentioned shrimp when talking about possible energy alternatives. But if a Gila Bend entrepreneur is correct, his knowledge of how to farm shrimp could lead to a breakthrough in the drive for an energy-independent America.
Without any hints or clues, there's no way you could guess where this shrimper is casting his net. Believe it or not, he's catching these oversized crustaceans just miles away from downtown Gila Bend. Welcome to the Gila Bend Aqua Farm, home of the Desert Sweet Shrimp operation. We first introduced you to Gary Wood and his shrimp farm about 5 years ago. Now he's using the knowledge he's gained farming shrimp to go in a different direction, producing an alternative energy source based on algae.
During all that time that we were working on this, we always knew about algae and the potential for it.
And what potential energy source can algae be converted into? Wood says biodiesel fuel.
Corn produces about 20-25 gallons per acre, and you almost put as much energy in growing it as it produces. Soybeans, 40 gallons. Palm oil, 600. Algae, 15,000 gallons per acre.
There are 60 ponds on Wood's property, and while the shrimp side of the business is about to shut down for the cooler winter months, they just started to fill the remaining ponds/laboratories with water to begin growing algae.
We believe that we can do something very similar to what we did with the shrimp. In about 2 to 3 years, we think that we can solve almost all the problems with algae production. And after that, it'll be out to the races.
And why does he think he can raise algae in the deserts of southern Arizona? Just like in real estate, it's location, location, location.
It's the climate here. That's all it's about. It's really hot during the day. We have really warm nights. The elevation's correct for it. You know, this algae explodes out here. That is a device there that sucks the algae and the other products off of the bottom.
According to Wood, the body weight of many strains of algae is more than half oil, and that product can be refined to biodiesel, which can be burned in diesel engines. Over the next few years, Wood says they will perfect that method.
It's not like a invention, it's more a process. We go about step 1, 2, and 3. And as we go through each step and establish that this works, we prove which one's better than the other one, we continue on. It's not rocket science, this is rocket fuel.
Wood believes if he can produce 5,000 gallons per acre of algae, the process will be economically viable. The biodiesel itself will cost consumers around $3 a gallon. And his ultimate vision has southern Arizona as the biodiesel capital of the world.
And if you can do that in an area between Gila Bend and Yuma and maybe a little bit of Southern California, we'd be able to produce all of the fuel that's used in the United States right now.
The specific strain of algae that Wood wants to develop grows very quickly.
Whenever we start a pond, we expect to start harvesting it within the next day. It's that fast. Algae can double or divide every 4 hours. So if this was half filled of algae in 4 hours, it'd be completely filled if you give it the right sunlight and the right requirements.
That requirement would be carbon dioxide, which would go into the ponds and ultimately the algae and not into the environment.
The most important part about it is the fact that all the fuel that we produce here is not going to add a bit of carbon dioxide or greenhouse gases to the atmosphere.
Wood sees his project as a win-win proposition, putting an end to American dependency on foreign oil, while at the same time helping put the brakes on global warming.
In my lifetime, I've done a lot of projects, but I've never done a project that's this important, because it would change the deficit of the United States, and it would cure the worst thing that's going on right now is with climate change.
Wow, Mark Martinez reporting there. Now, Wood predicts that in 2 years,